recording too?
Yeah. Recording now.
Perfect. Go to that, just make sure that this is in view of both cameras. And you can see the top of it.
This is good.
All right. Rocky interview for part 1 on narrative. Take 1.
All right. So, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Perfect. What inspired you to create Oxy?
For Oxy, I've always been inspired by people that I look up to, especially whether they're artists or music creators or just people that follow their passion and their dreams in itself. So I've always wanted to give inspiration since I felt so thankful that these are people that I don't even know, yet they can reach me in such a profound manner. And I think it was always my dream or something that I really wanted to pursue to reach other people that I don't really know on a maybe global scale for them to get inspiration from my life and have this kind of passion to pursue a dream. Because I think dreams are something that we shouldn't take granted for. I think having a dream in itself is significant in our lives and gives us, hope. And I think I just really wanted to give inspiration because I was so thankful that I got inspiration from these individuals.
Hold on 1 second. We never test recorded, so let's just make sure everything's recording properly and saving. This is recording. Okie dokie. Rocky interview. Take 2.
Move this over. Yeah. One. Yes.
All right, Rocky interview. Take 2. Electric Boogaloo. Play it. All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. What inspired you to create Oxy?
Let's just go to the next one.
It
We
works?
can just, yeah, all the recordings are good, so we can just pull the recordings from the first day.
Perfect. What's the timeline of Oxy's exhibitions?
So last winter, so the winter of 2024, we had our first exhibition titled If Not Now, When? And it was basically a reflection on the hesitation that certain artists get or just people in general get when they're pursuing something and they want to do something, yet they feel this kind of pressure of outputting something that's of quality and something that can be respected when shown to other people. And that kind of hesitation, I think, kills what could be created. So really, the winter exhibition was not only the foundation for Oxy itself, but was also a message that is very in line with what Oxy represents, to pursue something and to not be afraid and not hesitate behind your ideas and your expressions.
What are your plans for Oxy in the near future and journaling?
So,
When you're answering a question, include the question in your answer. So it's like,
oh,
what are your
okay.
plans for the near future? My plans for Oxy in the near future are. Sorry.
My plans for Oxy in the future, in the most, wait, can I read? Sorry. My plans for Oxy for the future, for summer 2025, I'm holding this exhibition called Oxy and Friends, where Oxy is going to do what its origin to do, what it's made to do, which is to show artists of other cultures and countries and show the younger generation of Korea what it's like. So I have a lot of friends from very diverse backgrounds and diverse set of colleges. For example, I have a friend exhibiting her work from RISD, a friend that's exhibiting her work from UChicago, a film student that's exhibiting his photography from UC Santa Barbara, and also a friend that I have in London that's coming to Korea to show off his fashion brand. And that's the plan for Oxy for this summer 2025. And in the more distant future, I would like to work with artists that I have no connection with at all, varying from local to global artists that are just really looking for a chance to do an exhibition, because that's what Oxy stands for. I'm fortunate enough to have access and these resources to create an environment of an exhibition, and I think this is something that's very special. So I think it is my job to give other people the same resources and environment that I'm able to have.
What do you hope to achieve with Oxy?
I hope to achieve with Oxy the same inspiration that I got from these artists that I watched while growing up. I want to change the mentality of the younger generation of Korea, especially with their closed-mindedness and foreign kind of emotions toward the world of art. And I just want to inspire them to have their own freedom of expression in the society that's more closed and conservative.
What challenges did you encounter with organizing Oxy this past winter, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Some challenges that I've experienced this winter was really, the major one was really the shortage of time and the people that I wanted to have along with me during this exhibition. I was always going to have a summer exhibition for 2025, but I wasn't sure what to do in the winter. And I realized in order for me to have an exhibition in 2025, I need to have a foundation, some sort of soil for Oxy to grow on. So I thought, what better chance than to, present my own works for the foundation of Oxy. So, picking the works that I wanted to present for this exhibition, curating them, letting people know, and also asking people if they were interested in joining my exhibition, specifically in production, was challenging to set time for them and for them to agree with the timestamps. And the other challenges that came with the exhibition was in the production of actually creating, printing these digital works that I've selected for the curation of the exhibition and getting them printed in time, getting their measurements right, the ratio with the space right, and just the overall design of the overall space. Those were a few challenges that I've experienced.
How are you going to take what you've learned from these challenges for your future exhibitions?
I'm going to take these challenges for my future exhibition, specifically for the exhibition of summer 2025, especially communicating in advance, because that's one thing that I didn't really do since 2024. The winter exhibition wasn't really planned. And a key thing that I've learned from my winter exhibition was this idea of like miscommunication and how prevalent that is when you're not actually talking to a person face to face, and when you're just messaging them. You know, we all get busy and we're all living our own lives, so especially if the time difference is significant, you tend to check messages and reply to them at a later hour. So I think this miscommunication can affect like the emotions that we feel toward each other and can have a greater impact on our relationship. So to ensure that this won't happen in the future, especially for summer 2025, I'm currently, you know, talking to all the artists as well as the production team in advance, and just texting them clearly, having more meetings and calls frequently. Yeah.
Speaking of the shortage of time, how do you balance the workload of what you have to do here in school and organizing this exhibition as well as communicating with all these people?
To balance schoolwork as well as my extracurriculars such as these exhibitions, honestly, like, I don't really balance them. Like, either I'm lacking in my exhibitions or my communications with my peers, or I'm getting a bad grade in an assignment, or not being able to hand in the assignment in the appropriate time that I've been given to. But I think it's all a practice. Like, I have to keep in mind that I'm only like a sophomore in college and that these things take time. So I tend to not put too much pressure onto myself and these grades that I've been given, or these, you know, conflicts that might arise because of my school life. I just try to be relaxed and try my best in everything that I can.
Are you going to ever exhibit your own work in the future again?
I think if I exhibited my own work in the future, it would be independent from this organization called Oxy, because this organization called Oxy is a group of friends and family that's coming together as a collective to help the younger generation, to pull them up more and to give them exhibitions and opportunities for exposure to eventually reach their dreams. So I think a solo exhibition for me is irrelevant to the dream and pursuit of Oxy. So in the future, of course, I will have exhibitions that's completely focused on myself, but I think it won't be in any relation to Oxy.
Okay. So tell me about your trip to Europe this spring break. How did the promoting go and who did you meet with?
So my trip to Europe this spring break was not actually in involvement with Oxy. It was with another project that I'm trying to pursue. So this project is called 564. Like, there's a lot of letters to this project, and these are random letters, but I think these letters mean something to me over the years, because I always start a project with an Instagram account to make like a mood board and to have my friends follow it and me follow them, for me to see what kind of engagement I get and what kind of feedback I get. And I like this kind of organic build up to a lot of my projects. And for this one, it was more like an intimate reflection of my life through film cameras. So I would go to like a camera shop and I would buy Kodak Easy, like the generic like film camera that's easy to use, and I would just capture moments of my life that aren't significant yet form and convey a sense of intimacy. And the end goal of this is to create some sort of art installment with all these film photos next to each other. And to promote that, I thought it was a good idea to go over Europe and to print posters of these film photos and have the project name in the middle of it, just to promote and just to convey the idea more that it's an intimate reflection of my life.
After some later, could you share those Instagram accounts with us?
Yeah.
And is it okay with you if we take images from them and use that as B-roll?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna mention same thing about if you have your artworks from Oxy and then your pamphlets and stuff. I have one. I can.
Yeah.
But like, if you have anything, send it over to us as well. And then so you have a lot of projects with Oxy, with 524, blah 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 blah. Do you have any other ones that are ongoing, or do you plan on doing any other ones simultaneously?
So the projects that I'm currently doing with Oxy and the 5 digits is one of the major projects that I'm doing is 78 exclamation mark, and that's a clothing brand that I'm trying to create. And currently I've made the first collection of it, and I've always been interested in clothing and fashion in itself, so I've always wanted to make clothes. I've always wanted to give the clothes that I make to my family or my friends, and I've never really pursued the creation of clothing and a creation of a clothing brand so seriously until 78. And I'm really trying to push 78 to its limits, to be professional and to evolve myself as a clothing director and a clothing producer. With this project, I've filmed 4 walkways as well as a photo book, and my friends over at RISD helped me with a lot of the photo production or the walkway with things, so it was really nice.
What's the progress of that project, 78 exclamation?
So currently with 78, I've created a website for it where it states the mission or how we make our materials, the sustainability aspect of it, as well as the photo book of collection 1 and the walkway, as well as the Instagram. And my future plans for it is actually when I go back to Korea, the first an exhibition I guess I'll do is going to be about 78. I'm going to do a pop-up shop for 78, and I'm hoping I can get one of my DJ friends to come over and have a DJ set while the pop-up shop is going.
So with all these projects that are simultaneous and you want to achieve all of these things, do you ever get really stressed?
With all these projects going on, I don't really ever get stressed, because these projects are something that relieves of the stress that I get in life or just the stress that I get in school. I'm not doing these projects to necessarily build on my resume. While it does help my resume significantly, I'm not doing it for the sole purpose of my resume. I'm doing it for the sole purpose of my fulfillment and enjoyment in my life. So there's never been a problem with me getting stressed from these projects. It was always somewhere I can go to, something I could work on to relieve the stress that I get from my life.
That's all the questions I have.
All right, I have one more. Can you explain what Oxy is? Just like bare bones, like what kind of work it is, where it is, what form the exhibition takes place. Like you're explaining it to someone who has no idea what it is, and also just really isn't necessarily an art person or someone who frequents these kinds of exhibitions. Kind of explain it like you would to a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old, a kid.
So what Oxy is an organization rather than an independent artist. Is an organization that covers more of digital works, for example, graphic design or games, or just the very digital nature of art. And we want to create a spatial exhibition that brings these digital works into a form of reality, as in it's a physical embodiment of the digital, if that makes sense. But Oxy in itself is an organization. I think I want to make that clear, of me, but also my friends and anyone who wants to be a part of this organization. And the main goal is, of course, the development of ourselves as artists and as human beings, but also to give inspiration to the younger generation, whoever the younger generation is, and whatever the inspiration might be, even if that's inspiration for merely 5 seconds of their life. If we can give inspiration for that 5 seconds, we've achieved our mission as an organization.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Do you
you.
have anything else you want to ask, or are we good to cut?
I think, hold on. I'm reading the blurb that you have in the Oxy website. Provide opportunity for extremes in reality.
So is it only, is Oxy only exhibited digitally, or are there physical exhibitions too?
Oh, so Oxy has actual physical, sorry. Oxy has actual physical exhibitions. We don't really have much of a digital, like an idea of a digital exhibition, because we want to bring the digital into reality, into like an actual like physical thing. So we thought it was the best to actually have a physical exhibition where people can look at the works printed out and canvassed, or games that they can actually play when they go to the exhibition. So yeah.
Oh, so Oxy is the physical rendition of
Yeah.
digital.
Actually, could you just say that?
Yeah.
Oxy is the physical renderation of the digital works.
Is renderation.
I don't know.
Maybe Oxy is the physical manifestation of digital work.
Oxy is the physical manifestation of the digital works.
Great. All right.
Thank you.
And we are cut.
Perfect. That was a lot of information, Matt.